This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Emma Driscoll
Thank you.
is 3.
Centre half back, bring it on. Em, good morning.
Hello, guys. Love that you knew that, Nat. Really appreciate you.
Just guessing.
Nathan.
I just understand
Do you
how
know
Nathan,
that?
Sean approaches
what
numbers.
Perfect. Did you know my number was number 3? No. Do you know what I'm defending on the weekend?
I don't know your position.
Perfect.
Your dignity.
Right, so you are,
No,
I'm guessing
seriously.
you are a guard.
A
A
guard.
guard.
Yeah.
Guarding the goals. Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So what's that position called?
She's goalkeeper.
Oh, you're the goalkeeper.
Oh, yep. With the other 5 girls out
kind of
there.
like-
Yeah.
Goal
Mate,
defence.
I can't believe 5 girls can cover that whole oval. That's insane.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well,
I'm
you know, what
absolutely
power
done.
to you. All power to
It
you.
is a lot of power to Em, the raging bull. Now, Em, on the weekend, the game was in the bag. It was in the bag.
Oh.
Carlton got 2 late goals in the last quarter.
You snatched
and stole
defeat
it.
from the hands of victory.
To be honest, everyone was so flat that we didn't even really need, Lisa to come in and give us a
No.
spray or anything.
Can
We
you
all knew we
imagine?
were all disappointed. It was
Oh.
horrible.
We know.
Are you angry at the wind?
Do you think?
Because that seems to be the thing that happened was the wind.
The wind.
So you're angry. How you girls at the wind?
We're pointing the finger. It's the blame game here.
Yeah. You've got to pin
It's the
someone.
wind, yeah.
Someone got to pin someone.
I mean, well, what's his problem?
So, Leadville Oval, Saturday, perfect weather.
Saturday, yep.
It's going to be a gorgeous day.
4:05 p.m.
Yep.
at Leaderville Oval. Be there. It's going to be an incredible day, Nat. I'm absolutely pumped. And it's the Derby. Like, how can you not be pumped?
They're
What's
coming
not to
for
love?
you know that, don't you?
Yeah, well-
They're coming for you.
Emma Driscoll, we've had so many people write in saying, "Wow, what is her
writing letters.
What is her status? What is her status? Is she on the market? Is Emma Driscoll ready
I
to mingle?
can't-
Is what they've been asking.
I hear that a lot too.
Yeah.
I
So,
was waiting for you to divert from the football chat.
so what's happening in your personal life? Do we have anyone in the mix?
No, we don't have anyone
How?
in the mix.
You are hot as shit.
What do you mean?
You're a great chick.
So-
How? Sean, she's a girl that you would take to your mate. Your
Nathan's
mates
just
would have a
thinking-
great time with as well. You know what I mean?
What do you mean by that?
No, as in that she's not someone that she's someone that will just be
She's
able
not
to
a
talk with you.
wallflower.
mate.
No, I think
You know what I
you're
mean?
just
She's not a
thinking
wallflower.
that I flashed my coach last week, so why am I not flashing more people? Is that what
That's
you're
right.
thinking?
Exactly.
Well,
That's
I mean,
right.
mate, that would get some people interested.
Yeah,
at
you would
least. But so,
What's
so
the
what's the
dream
deal?
partner?
Oh, I don't know, but I was saying to you guys before that my one of my friends, Jazz, she's very forward with things. I showed her this guy, and then she goes, "Oh, it's just typical, your type of man. It's white Australian, wears a button up, and has grown up playing footy and cricket." And I was like,
So is that what you like?
Thank you for defining me. I wouldn't say I have a type, but clearly all my friends think I do.
I would think that you would need a man who could whistle strongly, being a country girl.
Whistle,
Just like,
okay, yeah.
Okay,
call
here's
the
the deal.
dog,
Here's the
something
thing.
like that.
Okay,
I like a man.
the
I
dog.
do like a manly whistle myself.
Mind. I think I just need
Literally
someone
anyone.
that's ambitious. Like I need someone to
Ambitious.
push me.
That's
But then,
what
like
about-
you said, Shawnee, could go head to head, and then it could get
Yeah,
nasty.
couple
Oh,
of
no,
crazy cats getting around.
we're not looking for an Emma Driscoll nutcase. We're not looking for another male
We're
version
not
of
looking
this.
for insanity.
So what ages are we thinking?
Oh, we're done with this.
No, we're
chat.
not. No, we're not. Like, why not? You put yourself out there. Like, what ages?
Whatever. I think in the 20s would be nice.
In the 20s would be nice.
Don't
Yeah.
worry, Em, we're going to do Nathan next. Em,
Brilliant.
if the Eagles get up over the Dockers, why don't we find your next partner?
Oh, yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
That's a great
Amy
idea.
It
loves
would be
this.
so
What a
nice.
great idea.
It would be so nice.
Yeah.
Am I gonna have to shake each of your hands?
Well, it just means you're going to have to try
Oh,
super
we're gonna-
hard.
yeah,
or,
yeah, you know what?
or not.
I prefer.
This could be what makes her throw the match.
Yeah.
So we speak
Perfect.
to you every week. So
Go on
every week that you
Sportsbet
come
now.
in, say over a 5-week period, we'll have a little speed dating thing happening.
Oh,
Here. So you
no.
have your football chat, and you'll go on a speed date, and then we can have a bit of a, and then we'll listen in.
Got pretty
Okay,
good
so
taste.
moral of the story is win on the weekend and
That's
get your
it.
flaps out. Is that what you're saying?
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
So as we know, I have recently come into my plant era, and now
You
I'm
barely mentioned it.
You're
getting angry.
obsessed.
Getting angry. No, I'm off it. There's something that turns Sean in every relationship. A little thing.
Don't give me a minute.
Have the plants been
I'll
mouthing off
take
at
them
you?
off. Oh, they do. They talk back, Nate. It's
So
fine.
a few weeks ago, I said to my mum, I think I might have bed bugs, and she wouldn't have bed bugs.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
the
where would you get bed
worst.
bugs
I
from?
know,
Like you get
yeah.
them from
No,
like
but
And she
that's
goes- she
worse.
goes, why?
cheap hotels in like third world countries.
Yeah, and she goes, why? And I said, because I swear I've got a couple of bites on the back of my thighs. And Mum was like, and that's weird for me because I don't get bitten by anything. I've never had a mosquito bite. So
No, that's right.
So anyway, that happened a couple of weeks ago, and then I sort of forgot, got busy, rah. And then over the last couple of weeks, I've been scratching that. It's been itching, you know, but I've been
Do
unconscious.
you think he's got crabs, Sean?
The thing is, I haven't
You know
had
what?
any.
If you use
I haven't had any history with this, so I don't know how long something
Sean's got
itches
some
with.
stories.
I don't know what you know what I mean. I just don't know what a bite is.
You don't know what a bite
No,
is.
I
know
haven't
what a
feel
bite
it.
is.
Well, if you haven't had one before, how do you know what it feels like?
well, I've had bed bugs before, and they've
Have you?
absolutely beaten me to death.
Yeah, right.
Because you feel that little biting and
Yeah.
then like scratching, Nath, like
Yeah.
something's going you, and then the next day, obviously, you turn up with these rashes, and you have got miniature bites.
Mate, well, on the weekend, suddenly I was getting changed, and then I looked down, and all over my legs are all these little red bumps, and like just up here, I showed you guys yesterday, near my waist, it's like a burn or a rash,
Yes, it's a rash.
and
Yeah.
I'm going, what the
Does it
hell's
hurt
going
when you
on?
wee?
No.
Okay, good.
No, it doesn't. But it is hard to wee on it, Sean.
Yeah, on yourself.
turn it
Yeah,
around.
turn it, yeah. Put a kink in the hose.
I'm putting a hose back in your
Yeah.
face. Yeah. So I was like, oh my god, this is full on, and I think I've been bitten by something. I'm going, what could it be? A little bit of investigation.
Dr. Google.
I went to I suddenly went to my plants to have a look for something because I looked at an image and I went, that's exactly what I've got. On one of my plants, we're going to put a picture up on our socials right now. Bloody garden mites. Have you ever, we've all heard of
I've
mites.
heard of mites, but I've never heard of garden mites.
So
in
there's a whole
particular.
different. I don't know if it's garden mites, but there's itch mites. There's all these different kinds of mites. But these are the ones that veggie mites.
That's the whole thing.
Marmites.
Marmites. Anyway.
When we were kids, they were on the farm. There were red-legged earth mites,
Well,
but I didn't think they bit.
this one.
So we used to see them around a
Yeah.
bit.
So then I got mite bites. I've gone to the chemist because I've worked out what it is, and I went to the pharmacist and I said, "Excuse me, I think I might have mite bites."
You might have them.
I might have mite bites. And then she goes, "Show me." So then I showed her, and
You
she
took
goes,
your pants off?
and she goes, "Yeah, they're mites." Then I showed her the picture of the mites, and she goes, "Whoa, they're huge because big, furry white things, like the thing from that flies through the air, like Never Ending Story." Falcor.
Yeah,
They're
Falcor.
like tiny falcors.
Yeah, Falcor.
So then she said, basically, she goes, so what's happened? She goes, you probably experienced this bite probably, if I'm seeing it now, it's probably a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I went,
so
oh,
have
that's the
you
thing.
been sleeping with your plants? Is that?
Oh, you gotta
My
take what you
mum
can get. You
told
don't
me to
knock
get
one
my
back.
mum's going to get the plants out of your bedroom. She thought that because plants use a lot of oxygen, they're going to suffocate me.
Yeah.
I told her we live on Earth where there's all nature. If that was the case, we'd all be dead. But so anyway, it's gone up. It's gone everywhere. It's gone up my chest, everything like that. So I went and got some cream from them, and it's now starting to settle down. But she said as well, you're going to get new ones, so you're thinking the cream's going to settle up, but it's already in your system. So
They're
starting
already
to-
coming up.
Yeah, so I'm really worried because I felt something on my forehead. So I think I might just be
But
might bite.
yeah, because you keep pouring at them, you're going to take some bark
That's
off
the worst
your
thing.
face.
I am itchy everywhere, and I hope everyone's starting to feel itchy
He
right
has
now.
to start. We're going
I
to
am.
put
I was
mittens
just-
on him to stop him from scratching himself like a baby.
It's a good idea.
You're
Now.
not allowed to scratch yourself. So Nat
No.
just saw me then. I was just sitting
Yeah.
here and just unconsciously scratching
We've
myself.
got to do that or got to put a cone on your head.
On my head and handcuff me.
I don't know how that'll
I
help.
want a cone.
This
on his
is
head.
insane.
Mite Bites is a great name for a box of cereal.
My
Mice.
Anyway, I'm taking that, by the way. No one else use it.
Yeah.
I want to know, has this happened to anybody else? Like,
Oh, mighty mite bites.
well, no, not even just mite bites, but something something's
bugs, all
happened.
that kind
It
of
was a
stuff, no?
mystery.
It's got ya?
Well, something's,
Oh, no?
something's happened. It was a bit of a mystery, and then you found out that
It was a
you've
bite
been
of sorts.
bitten by mites. I was so angry, by the way, when I was washing my plants with detergent. By the way, I got really angry at a few of them. I just threw them in the bin and murdered them.
Wow. So you're blaming them.
Yeah. See, now my forehead's itchy. Oh my god, I'm itchy
Stop.
everywhere.
Everybody in their car is going to be scratching themselves because
You
you've
can't
been
help
talking
it.
about it non-stop. Here's Courtney. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, Courtney.
Courtney, did you get bitten by something bitey?
Yes, something very bitey, bed bugs.
Oh, no. So
they're the worst.
because everybody goes there and thinks that's, what's bitten them. But in your case, it actually was?
Yeah, so I was a single mum at the time, had this tiny little rental, got a second-hand mattress, and I stripped the whole bed and I found them, and like the actual little bugs squished, all the signs. I took it to the GP. I had over 200 bites.
Oh.
The GP was fascinated, and because I had proof they were actually bed bugs, she took photos and actually put it in a medical journal.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
God, I hope it's not near your private parts. hey?
Courtney, what an honour.
Because you can.
It was an honour, actually. I'm a nurse as well, so it was, my little claim to fame, been riddled with bed bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been plenty of beds that you can see that once you put... Is it a light that they put on there? Or
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get rid of them
see
once
them
you've
in
got
there.
them, though,
You gotta-
isn't it, Courtney?
Yeah.
What did you do to get rid of them?
I went full extermination mode. So everything, like the mattress, everything was thrown out. The linen, everything in the house, like the cushion covers.
Yeah.
Had
So they like
be
to get in
washed.
the seams of things,
Yes,
so you
that's
can't.
what I heard,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
really, really tiny. Hey, so when you got your bites, so I'm applying this cream, and it's like 30 grams for my whole body. So they said some people have bigger surface area. So I'm using that cream every day, and it seems to be on the track of getting them done. So hopefully within 4 days, this might be cleared up. Hopefully. What about bed bugs? What's the what? How do you treat that?
Well, weeks. So
Weeks.
you had a steroid cream as well, but the actual dots were there for, I'm talking 8 to 10 weeks.
Oh!
It was
Courtney.
so long.
Nathan,
Yeah.
you might not be bikini ready at this rate then.
But
for
I just bought
summer.
the
You're going to have to stay
one.
inside.
It's an extra high
You
thigh.
can't expose people to
They're
that
all
at the beach.
arranged these days.
Thanks,
those
Courtney.
ones.
Christy's in Chewett Hill. Morning, Christy.
Hey guys,
Hey, Christy.
All right, Christy. Have you been bitten?
I have, and it was a medical mystery. So I had an operation and I was housebound for a while, and
Okay.
everyone that knows me knows I'm a Nazi for cleaning my house. So I had to employ a cleaner, and who later quit because apparently my house was too clean for her. And all of a sudden I broke out in awful spots, and it was painful, it was itchy. I went to my GP, he couldn't figure it out. I went to a dermatologist and paid $400.
Oh God.
He couldn't figure it out. And then later, I was at home probably about 5 days later, and I saw this little bug, and I Googled it, and it was a carpet beetle. And long story short, it turns out I had carpet beetle dermatitis.
Oh, my God. I've never heard of that.
I've had daddy long legs arthritis before. It's
It
terrible.
was ridiculous. And now I went back to my doctor and told him what it was, and he said, I've never treated anyone that's had that before.
Oh, wow.
It's on my medical history. So
What does a
every time
carpet
I go-
beetle look like? Does it look like a
It's,
normal beetle?
It looks like a bit like a ladybug, but a
Okay.
lighter version, and
Yep.
it's got like a little ripple on its back. But now every time I go to my doctor for a referral, he prints out my medical history, and it's got bloody carpet beetle
Yeah.
Carpet
That's right.
beetle dermatitis.
Forever. Oh, that's so
I've
funny.
never heard of a carpet beetle.
You know what?
I know. Google it, guys.
What is
Google
it? What is
They're
it
horrible
like?
things.
What is it like? Because getting an answer of what something is when you don't understand what's happening to your
Yes.
body, that's golden, right? You
Yeah.
can't beat that. But what is it like being told that you are when you're seeing a doctor? This is the first time I've come across this.
Oh, no.
What's that like?
Yeah, I know. It was a bit weird, but it also sends a cleaning person into more of a frenzy.
Yes.
right?
Oh, I'd
Yeah.
imagine. Christy.
It was in a rug, it turns out. So, about 10 years ago, the shag sort of pile rugs
Yes.
were quite common. It turns out that they were sort of in that. So
They can
you
just
go.
fly inside as well, so they're attracted to
Totally,
light and
yeah.
warmth. They can fly inside. They can get inside on pets and clothes. Plus flowers that you bring into
And
the
then
house.
and then they give you the dermatitis. How? They just like rub on you.
it's actually the larvae that causes the irritation.
So they're laying eggs.
I said laying eggs in your body.
That's fun.
I'm a surrogate right now for mites.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean in podcast form.
Hey, I'm glad I can speak to you, Brendan, because I've always seen this word being thrown around. I watch a lot of TV, and I've always just accepted what the word is without knowing what it is. What is a showrunner? What is a showrunner? What is a showrunner? Are they the person literally that runs the show? Because you're the showrunner.
It's an American term.
Yes.
So a showrunner is someone who's across everything from how much the show is being made for to what the genre of it is. They can talk to all the departments, production designers, costume, the actors, and
the minutiae of creative choices
Okay.
Yes.
in the moment on the set.
so this, down to choosing the pillow slips for Peter the Plum Lum's bed and going, not them,
Yes.
definitely not the Ken Doan ones, but yes, Star
Hey, that's
Wars.
real power, isn't it?
Important decision.
Yeah, it is. And it just gives everyone someone to go, because you've got your directors who are trying to make their episodes awesome.
Yes.
You've got the producers who are trying to balance the money and get this bloody thing on telly. And then you've got a showrunner who can just be the central
Yes.
figure to go, he or she knows what show is being made, and they can talk to every
So
department.
they're like the CEO of the show.
Yeah, the CEO's mostly at lunch, though, aren't they?
That's true.
I mean, that's a good point.
We check with ours, but
Yeah.
ours is at lunch.
You're in the weeds. This person is in the weeds with
Yeah.
the people that actually make it.
Hey, Brendan, it was interesting when I read this, knowing that this interview was coming
Sean
up.
literally
Right?
said-
So this is the story of my life. I wasn't a rugby league guy, but I'm an AFL guy, and
Yeah.
He can't remember his PIN number,
no,
Brendan.
I've got a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Probably. It's a scary thing, but I elect at this point in time just to put it off, exactly like Peter the Plum Lum.
Because the AFL were kind of last to the party. That they kind of thought, oh, it's those brutish, thuggish
it's part of the
rugby
game.
codes that'll have CTE. We're the elegant sport with the guys with the great arms. It won't happen to us. But now the AFL's the ones with the civil suits.
Yeah.
And the fact is that it's not about just being head high in the head, by a swinging arm. It's any pressure to the brain. It's a brain being shaken, a brain having any energy. You find a lot of soldiers who are close to explosions.
Wow, yeah.
Roadies who are close
Yeah,
to
right.
speakers for 25 years.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Basketball players that trod down a court for
Really?
20 years.
Just from the
pressure
impact
in their
of your
brain.
feet?
Really?
The repetition.
The brain
of
is
the
like a
pressure.
little piece of fruit in a jar. Any charge or any shape. So the helmets don't help. If anything, it's the worst thing for the NFL because they then attack with the head.
Yeah,
It's the shaking of the head. It's the brain going against the edges of the jar. Now they're cracking down on kids heading the ball. They don't want kids to head the ball in
I know, soccer, yeah.
under 12.
Oh, wow.
And mate, I feel for you, and I hope that you take something from Plum and make sure you're reaching out and you're up to date with the science, because I guess if Plum can help, and I hope that the story of Plum can help, it's that, the Aussie bloke stops being such a dickhead and reaches out and says, hey, I'm confused, I'm suffering from this. Because it's only going to, sorry, not dead, but being so shut down.
Yeah.
Because we're told to not communicate, and to be brave and masculine, but kind of say what your symptoms are, talk to your friends and challenge the brain. I know a lot of footy players that are now reading and learning guitar or doing things
pick
to
up a
make
skill.
You got to find new pathways, for sure.
When Brendan Cowell, who is a household name, and of course Asha Ketty sitting there, we were born knowing her. When you're making a new series or something like that, do you go through agents or do you just ring Asha because she's your friend?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's a funny story because I wrote a book called Plum, available in all good bookstores with a new cover with us on it.
Nice.
And I sent it to Asha because the hardest thing about being a novelist is you've got to try to get your famous friends to do a quote for your cover.
Yeah.
And of course, Ash calls me a couple of weeks in. I think she's
Yeah,
on
I
this-
called him. He
She
didn't call
called
me.
me.
Oh, nice.
And she just read it. I was in Centennial Park with my
I
mum.
was in tears, completely
Oh.
overwhelmed. I'd been so moved by the story and so involved with the characters that I just told him. And he was walking with his mum, actually, in the park.
Centennial Park, yeah, and we had her on loudspeaker. And Mum, during the thing, Mum was looking at me going, she's
She's Renee.
And then by the end of the chat,
I said to him at the end of the chat, okay, so here's the thing. If you do develop this into a drama, I'm Renee.
I think you just were
Whether
Renee
you
by
like
the
it
end of
or
that
not.
chat. Yeah. And then I went, well, I guess I'm Plum. And it was the greatest casting session of all time.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That's done in a heartbeat.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
Vicky's in Bull Creek. Hi, Vic.
Hello.
Hey,
Alrighty,
Vicky.
we're
Have
talking
you-
about strong relationships to trees,
Yes.
whether they be good or bad.
A positive experience.
Great.
Oh, great.
So we used to live in a house in Applecross. It was actually John Alexander's original house. So it was about 30 years ago we lived there. So I would have been probably 40 years old before that.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a massive date palm in the back of the house, like the little corner block, a huge date palm. And anyway, when they bulldozed the house, they actually transferred the tree to Burswood.
Oh,
Oh, around the grounds.
By transfer,
Yeah, 'cause I knew the
sold,
owner of the
right?
house.
Yeah.
She told us, So I was like, oh, that was really nice because I loved the tree. It was so
That's
wasn't it?
nice. So now you know where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone down to visit it?
There's plenty of them down there, but apparently there's a whole heap of them down there, and one of them is one of those.
No,
So,
you'll
yeah.
know which one it is. I've seen Avatar. You connect to your tree,
You
you know.
just stand there and you do this for your legs.
Yeah.
You
And we
just
had,
slap
like,
your
a
legs and it
wishing
runs
well
up to
near it
you.
and everything. It was really cool.
Hey, Vicky, on that property that you used to live at, did they just do one house or they did multiple dwellings on there?
Multiple
houses on that
the
block.
one
No,
Once
it's just one corner block. It was his house.
Yep.
It was an had all old French windows out the back on the corner and everything. Yeah. It's on
know
the corner
what?
of Matheson and Kintail.
For criminals, right? If you just tracked when a family was away, had a beautiful tree in your property, you could like dig it out and then sell it on Gumtree, I'm guessing.
No, that's only for eucalyptuses. I think you'll find.
Because like people are making it's big money with established trees.
It's a lot of money.
It is. Yeah. Thanks, Vicky.
It is.
Let's go
No
to
problem.
Alex in Scarborough. Hi, Alex.
How are you going?
Now,
Good, Alex.
Alex, you're in the biz. You're an arborist.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So do the people that go up in the trees and chain themselves to branches? Do they hate you?
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah. Right.
Alex, what do you reckon the decision from the council is in this respect, or the state government? They've just decided that they want to get rid of
Well,
these trees.
Every council has different rules.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say a specific rule for different councils. But mainly it's if you've got to get rid of a tree, the tree needs to be damaged, storm damaged, or a threat to a house, or it's dying. Otherwise, there's no reason why the tree should come out.
Yeah.
For a tree removal approval from the council, it takes months. It's not just done overnight.
And they found out 3 days ago this was happening. Hey,
No, is that the people or is that the council?
No, that's
The people.
No, that's the people. Yeah, they weren't informed, and it was apparently really small, and like it was only there was a pamphlet done to a few houses. It was a very controlled situation. They're saying that the roots have got asbestos in them. Is that real? Can that be a thing? And what would happen?
No, I've never heard of that before.
That's a good question.
It's in the ground for sure,
Yeah.
growing around the roots,
Yes.
but it's not in the roots.
So
no
hashtag asbestos roots is not a thing.
way. No, I don't think so. No.
Hey, Alex, what's your favourite tree?
Probably an oak,
Okay.
And I like-
What's your least favourite tree?
Jap pepper, which is a weed, or
I had one of those. I had one of those.
What's wrong with them?
They do. They just just grew out of nowhere. My neighbour's got
and
one,
they
and it kind of
smell a
just, and they're enormous, and it's like they grow really fast.
Really?
Yeah.
fast. I thought I was just a genius gardener, but no, it's a weed, and it had to be. It's been dug out now.
Oh, is it? But
Yeah.
is it a pretty weed?
I mean, it was
No.
pushing over a fence.
That's
yeah.
not.
Hey,
yeah.
Alex, are different trees harder to get rid of, like cut down? Do you have to spend more time
Yeah.
getting rid of them?
yes. So Jap pepper, for example, it tangles with each other.
Yeah.
So it's really hard.
Yeah.
Probably the easiest tree would be like a eucalyptus,
Yeah,
because
right.
it's just straight and open.
Have you ever fallen out of a tree with your harnesses not been done properly?
No, so I'm not a climber, but I do use cherry pickers. I've never fallen out of a tree, but I've got stuck into one.
They're trying to get the people out of the trees now. How'd they get you out? Someone just threw a frisbee at
What's
him.
the
I
secret?
guarantee it's a frisbee. Someone just hit him with a frisbee.
You send a squirrel up.
It's the Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
Robert.
It's shark season.
It is, certainly is.
And here in Perth, we have a lot of sharks in the ocean, but none as well dressed as you, Robert.
Oh, well, of course not. I'm so excited you're calling me from Perth. I've never been to Perth.
Have you?
I just bought a car from Perth.
Get out of town. What did you get?
What is it?
What is it, a Daewoo?
What did you guys think? What would you guys think I would buy?
Okay, I think for me, you are. I know how much you're worth, and I know that you are. You know, like you're very stylish. I think it's something with that rich people uppy doors.
I think it's a Bentley because you're a classy guy.
And I'm going to go with an Australian branded car, like an old school Monaro or something, a Holden brand.
Oh, like a muscle car.
muscle car.
Who's closest?
Oh my God! A muscle car, please! I'm a classy guy.
Well, you can get any
I
other
bought a-
classic car anywhere else. What are you talking
Hey,
about?
John, he's more of the. If it's a classic car, it's the driving Miss Daisy car.
Yes, because I'm 100 years old. No, I bought a Rolls Royce so I could drive my kids around.
So was
Right.
it a vintage Rolls Royce? Why did it come from Perth?
No, it was a brand new Rolls Royce convertible, and I have to tell you, I didn't tell my wife. And then when it arrived, I said, "Oh, by the way, I bought a Rolls Royce so I could take the twins to school." She was so embarrassed. She was like, She said, "There's no way I'm taking a Rolls Royce to drop the kids off at school." And I said, "I don't care. I'll do it."
Oh my
Yeah.
God! She goes, "Instead, I'm taking the chopper."
I mean, hey, Robert, what did you buy? How did you get it from Perth? I don't understand. I mean, you could have bought one anywhere around the world, particularly, probably in your home state.
Well, my dad used to drive the freight trains that would take cars over
put it on
from
the
Perth
train.
to over east. Is that what happened?
Well, here's how ignorant I am. I bought the car and I said, can I have it here by Friday? It was Wednesday.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, do you have any idea how far Perth is? No.
Well, if they drive it all night, they'll get here in time.
Might put some case in the
Just
clock,
really,
though.
really flog that thing across the Nullarbor.
Hey, Robert, we get to see you, obviously, on Shark Tank. That's why we're speaking to you at the moment. I was watching the opportunity. You've done this before, but some of these opportunities that you come across, do you just your eyes light up and think, no, I'm going to make another 100 million out of this?
Well, I hope I make more than 100 million, but I love the idea. What's amazing is I've actually been doing the show for 21 years.
Wow.
If you can believe it.
Yeah.
I started in Canada. We still do it in America. And now we're doing the Australian version. So exciting. But it's incredible, the ingenuity and the innovation that people come up with. You would think after 20 years, I would say, I've seen it all. But every year, people come up with stuff, and I'm like, wow, why didn't I think of that?
The way I watch you guys, because you're using your personal money, and that's the thing that's great about this show.
That's right.
Because you're on a TV show, but you've got a personal stake in there. It's in your bank account. So $30 million you've invested over this series around the world. What is the return on $30 million? Have you made... Was there any big mistakes there? Have you made a good profit out of that $30 million investment?
Yeah, I think I actually have the best record of any of the sharks around the world.
Really?
The problem is in the early days, it was hard to get her money out. I own a sock company in Boston.
Yeah.
They're not going to go public or that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But we made some mistakes early on, just like any investor. One of the biggest mistakes I made was investing with Mark Cuban.
Oh, really?
Why? What happened?
Dallas Mavericks.
Well, yes. I mean, the guy's worth $7 billion, $6 billion, I don't know. And he has an incredible team that helps with the investment. But I've realized his tolerance for losing money is much higher than mine.
It's like the people that drop 50 cents and don't pick it up.
Yeah.
Right. So I did this deal with him, and I let his team run it. We invested, and it was like $500,000 each. And a couple of months go by, and I call him and I say, Mark, how's the investment going? He's like, oh, it's a piece of crap. We're never going to get our money back.
What's the best thing, though, out of that 30 years that you've invested? What's the top shelf product?
I invested in a product called Tipsy Elves years ago. I bought, I think, 20% for a couple $100,000, and they'll do $160 million this year.
What is it? What is it?
What is that product?
What is it?
It's inappropriate, ugly Christmas sweater. Can you imagine?
Oh, so Tipsy Elves. That's what you were saying.
Oh, sorry.
Elves, okay.
You invested in that, and what is the profit?
160 million.
You are.
So that's what they're going to do this year. So, that's not the profit, but
Well done.
That's a great return.
Are you guys allowed to swear on the radio?
Well, sometimes.
Yeah, well, when we were pushed to it by a rich person.
Robert, the other thing that's amazing about you is that probably the best investment that's happened to you as a result of being on Shark Tank is that you got to go on Dancing with the Stars and marry an Australian, and Kim Johnson, who is your dance partner. What a beautiful romance.
What a lucky guy I was. That was almost, that was over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And we've actually moved back to Australia. Kim is the best salesperson in the world. She talked me into moving back to Australia. And so now we live in Sydney full time.
What an amazing thing that your kids can watch the moment you met.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. It's all
How
documented.
cool is that?
Yeah,
that's
it's incredible.
Pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's kind of odd because at school they had a day and they were talking about dancing. And so my kids told the teacher how we met, and they played the video for the entire class.
That's nice.
That's amazing.
Robert, how many years, how long have you been back in Australia then?
We've had a house here for over 5 years.
Oh, okay,
but we've been here full time since January.
Yeah,
and I got to tell you, I love it.
Thank you.
I love everything about Australia.
You got to come over to Perth, mate. Hey, I want to know, is it really exciting for someone of your wealth when they get to Australia to look at their bank account on the ATM to see what it is in Australian?
Well, Here's why I love Australia. In Australia, I'm actually a billionaire because of the exchange rate.
Yes, that's
Do
gold.
not step foot off this soil.
That's gold.
Yeah, I am not leaving this continent.
I tell you what,
because
I'm a millionaire
my
in
wealth
Vietnam too.
Yeah,
so
that's
yeah,
always good.
How much does your wealth drop if you step out of this country?
Oh, it goes down by at least, 30%? I can't afford that.
That's great.
Hey, Robert, earlier on you talked about Mark Cuban and, the fact that he's worth $7 billion. Is it interesting, the fact that, you've got piles of money, obviously, but when you're in the realm of somebody like that and or many other billionaires that you would have met along the journey, the different levels across the world?
It's amazing. I think after you, and that's the great thing about Shark Tank, everybody has the opportunity to make money that empowers your life, because money is freedom. And I think once you get above a certain amount, and it's different for everybody, I think once you make 10, 20, 50 million, it doesn't really matter how much you have. It's what you're going to do with it and how it affects your life. I came from absolute sheer poverty. My dream in life was to make $1,000 for my age. So when I was 50, to make $50,000, buy a used Corvette, and maybe pay off my mortgage one day.
Okay, Rolls Royce.
And now you've got a convertible Rolls
That
Royce.
you're born without even looking at. Oh, I can't handle you. That is
So
amazing.
good.
So tonight's episode, if everyone wants to see what not to do on Shark Tank, watch the guy with the boxing bag.
Oh, the boxing bag. He didn't know his product at all.
Yeah. And there's actually a really interesting pitch tonight from a person that's made an accessory for an ebook reader, and it opens up the question of copyright and how people on Temu and stuff could copy things, and how you circumnavigate that. So it's really
that's
interesting.
something Robert gets involved in.
And Robert, we appreciate your time. Shark Tank Australia premieres tonight at 8:30 on Channel 10 and 10 Play.
Robert,
It's
we
a
would speak
pleasure.
to you every week if we can. You're amazing. You're bloody funny.
Thanks, Rob.
Well, thank you, guys, and congratulations. I hear you've been together for 15 years. Have you ever had an argument?
Oh,
all
yeah.
the time,
I've
non-stop.
literally done this whole interview with my foot on Sean's throat.
Love your work, Robert.
See you,
Thanks,
Robert.
mate.
Yeah.
Who's the richest out of the three of you? I'm just curious.
Probably Nathan. Probably Nathan.
Sean has 4,000 children, mate.
Yeah, I'll get bled dry every day of the
Yeah,
week.
exactly. We've got a bloody breeder here. That's what the problem
I
is.
spend all mine going on holidays. Thanks, Robert.
Yeah, come over sometime. We'll have a money
Pleasure,
fight.
guys.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat, and Shaun.
A bartender complained about the behaviour of the players at their Wacky Wednesday, even though they were in a private area of a licensed venue. There were still staff there.
That's right.
And it turns out that those staff have eyes.
So many people have eyes that do jobs in the backgrounds. We're talking to people right now about what their eyes have seen while working in the background.
Hi, Natalie.
Hello, how are you?
Hi,
Good,
Nat.
Okay, all right. So what sort of job have you done and what did you see?
Well, about 25 years ago, I was working, backpacking around the UK and whatnot, and worked in a hotel in Scotland that was quite, considered a country club, golf course.
Yes.
Very well-to-do place. And we used to do a lot of weddings there. And one weekend we had a big family coming up from England. They were marrying into the Scottish family, so to speak. So we had a family of English and a family of Scottish.
Yep.
Anyway, as the night went on, these two ladies, very, well-to-do, well-dressed, hats and everything.
Hats and
were
everything.
talking
Did you just say hats and everything?
Yes, you did.
That's well dressed.
Oh, the fanciest of all the ladies.
Nathan, we're well dressed
Very
today.
posh.
Yes.
Got speaking to this young Scottish guy in a kilt. And he'd had quite a few drinks, as you do at this point. And anyway, I was talking to him and asking, is it true what they say, about what a Scotsman has under his kilt?
Yeah.
And without hesitation, this guy just put his drink down, stood up on the chair in front of him, turned around, bent over and lifted his kilt. And needless to say, we saw everything.
It is true.
Oh
it
my
is true
God,
what they
it
say.
is.
It is
Wow.
true. There was nothing on.
You put down the tray of haggis.
I shouldn't have to look at this.
It's distasteful.
Oh,
Natalie.
that's so funny.
Okay, well, you got
Did
to
it
show.
knock their hats off?
And this is the thing, the guys there going, right, it doesn't matter, it's friends and family. They're not, they're people working there. They're people working there.
Exactly
You didn't need to see this. It's so funny.
Oh, good on you, Nat.
That's
Thank
great,
you. Cassie's
Thank
in
you.
Safety Bay. Hi, Cass.
Hi.
Hi, Cassie.
Cassie, so you've worked in the
big
background.
fan.
Oh, thanks, Cassie.
We're a big fan of you too, Cassie. Where did you work and what have you seen?
So I won't say exactly where I worked,
I
but
think
I've
that's
worked for quite a few football clubs.
Oh,
Yeah, I go, what did Shaun do?
in what capacity, Cassie? What was your job?
So I was a sports trainer, so I dealt with like the medical side of
Yes.
things and
I did this in
hydration
uni.
and-
This is you, Nat.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
this too. Yeah.
Yeah, so you would know that you see a lot of things
So much.
in the background, especially with footballers, because they seem to not realise how inappropriate they can be in front of female companies.
What's
Which
happened?
is fine because I opted for the job
Yep.
and I knew what I was getting into.
Yep.
So I feel like, that's fine. I mean, I was invited on Mad Mondays and I attended Mad Mondays, and let me tell you that I went to places that I never...
You couldn't even book a trip to the Play Centre.
Cassie.
So many places.
Yes.
So, I'm really intrigued to see what the heck the GWS could have possibly done
Yeah.
Well, maybe
to warrant this amount of disciplinary action, I guess.
Well, from your point of view, Cassie, you just said that you signed up. You understood maybe this bartender from, in his defence or her defence, they were just thought, I didn't
sign up for this.
Yeah.
I'm a bartender.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. But I mean, like, these boys, they get, skimpies are part of Mad Mondays typically.
Yep.
And so if that's offensive to you, you just remove yourself. Like, I don't know. I guess,
Yeah.
he was there on a certain...
I would have.
Yeah.
I mean, not from the skimpies, but you know what I mean.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.